Hey everyone. So what I want to show you today is um, how to surf. And the most important thing to surfing is really understanding how to stand on your board. So what I'm going to show you is a bit different than what you'll find in the other YouTube videos because really they kind of suck. So what I want you to do is um, kind of question everything they tell you and also what I tell you and figure out what works best for you. And that's really if you're doing it right. So, pretty much what you're going to hear from instructors and from maybe other videos that you see is to pop up on your board. And I really think that's wrong. And I'll show you why. I'm going to give you a little demonstration of a pop up. And what ends up happening is it uses a lot of energy. You get tired really quickly. It's easy to get off balance when you do it that way, and you generally are gonna really probably take a few years to understand how to do it, and you're gonna really be upset with what happens because um, you'll be eating it pretty hard. You're gonna be probably there getting washed around in the washing machine of the whitewater, and you'll be falling all the time. Where if you want to learn how to surf, just take the time to dissect how to stand up on your board and to figure that out. If you figure that one part out, you're going to really enjoy surfing. And that's what I'm hoping to show you today. So, um, yeah, let's see. Let me check my checklist. Um, yeah, what I really want you to think about is why is it working if it's starting to work for you? Um, how can you improve it? And what can you do to change it to make it even better? So that's pretty much how I figured out what I know now. And to try to use hints that people give you, but then also not take them for the right way. um, from what I've learned and seen, most people's advice is wrong. So you really have to figure it out for your own body. And some of the reasons I think I've figured it out better for myself is because I'm really looking for what's the reason it works, and how can I do it to make it really work for myself. You kind of really looking deeper into it and trying to figure out what it's all about. So I'm going to show you what a pop-up kind of is like. Um, and yeah, here it is. So you're on your board, you're paddling, you're gonna catch the wave, and you're supposed to pop up. So for me, that's wrong. And the reason why is it takes a lot of energy. Um, it doesn't make any sense unless you've done it for years, um, which is probably the worst part about it. Uh, it's it's really difficult to tell um, what has been done to get to that position. Uh, kind of looks like a magic trick. All of, from the beginning, you're on the board, and then all of a sudden, you're on your feet. And yeah, pretty messed up because what that ends up being is most people try it, they can't do it, they think they can't surf, they end up falling all the time, and usually they're off balance, they're pushing wrong on the side of the board, they tip themselves over, they stand up too fast, they fall off the wave. Um, Pretty much everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and I want to make it easier. So now I'm going to show you how I've been breaking it down for myself, and I'm thinking that what's really going to help you is to see what I'm doing, but then also to really try to break it down even further for yourself and think about how it's going to work for your body. Alright, so here it goes. Now, the most important thing to standing up on your board is to understand what body parts you're using to help bring your feet underneath you. And really it's interesting because most of the time people think it's your arms. You know, you gotta be strong, do a lot of push-ups, and I did that for a few years, and you know, I'm always tired after doing it a bunch, and it's not fluid, it's not very fast, and it's what it looks like when you watch people doing it. But the really important muscle to be using when you're standing up on your surfboard is your stomach. And if you're using your abdominal stomach muscles, you're going to be getting incredibly good at it, you know, 10 times faster than you ever would have if you're just using your arms. And I think that's been the biggest breakthrough for me, and I hope it'll help you, is really the core to everything of standing up on a surfboard is using your stomach muscles. And so yeah, I'm going to show you. So you're lying down on your surfboard, you're paddling, and the first step to standing up is to actually lift your head up and lift your chest off the board. So your chest is on the board, chest is off the board, your head is up, your chin is up, and you're looking to where you're going. You can also look back to check the wave, but really the head being off the board, chest off the board, chin up is extremely important, because if you try to do the whole motion at once, what's going to end up happening is it's going to be this crazy motion that's super fast and kind of like a toss-up. So what I want you to do is understand that the best surfers, when you're really watching them, they're going to make it look easy. And the reason why is because over years they figured out, they might not be able to describe it to you, but the most important thing is to already be starting to stand up and preparing for it. And so it also helps with your weight and everything. So what I want you to try it out is lift your head up, chest off the board. Usually you'll see people paddling around like this. It also helps when you're in the wave, and most importantly, it's going to help you stand up. So chest off the board, you're paddling. Second step, hands have to go back, because your arms, they're going to be your pivots. You're going to put your weight on top of your arms so that you can then use your stomach muscles to pull your legs underneath you. The misconception is that now the third step, after I have my arms back, is going to be that you're going to have to do like a push-up. Part of the thing with pop-up that I don't like so much is that it's very similar to push-up, and so most people think, oh, I got to do a push-up, so I'm going to just use all my strength in my arms and get my body off the board. And you're just going to end up tiring yourself out. It's going to be pretty slow, because no matter how hard you try to push yourself off the board with just your arms, it's extremely tiring and it's a lot of weight to carry. And what you're going to see is that you don't have to have all that strength in your arms to actually surf and to get up on the wave, on the board, on the wave. So, first step, paddling, head up, chin up. Second step, arms back. You can figure out where it works best for you. I believe that it's really important to have your hands almost back underneath your ribs, not just your chest. The further back they are, the more of your weight that'll be over them, and the easier it'll be for you to bring your knees underneath you. That's kind of like a pendulum. It's where you can think about it yourself. Give me questions if you want on the comments, and I can try to explain that more. It's very important though to have your weight over your arms. Now, instead of pushing up with my arms, I'm going to use 80% of my stomach muscles. So here we go. 80% stomach muscles and 20% of your arm, just to help guide your body up. So I'm using all stomach muscles, and now I'm in this position where my arms are slightly bent, they're not straight, they're slightly bent, because what I found is that if you have a little bit of bend in them, you can use your arms a little bit as you're bringing your feet underneath you to help get your feet underneath you. It's kind of like a spring. You'll be able to do a small motion like that for the very last part of it, and that'll help you get your feet underneath you. Okay, so you're up here. This is already, if you can figure out how to do this using mostly stomach muscles, you're a huge way towards standing up on your board. Okay, the next step is now you're gonna, in the same motion, you're kind of combining motions. One is pushing up a little higher with pushing your elbows in, getting them a little under, so doing that last little bit. But as you're doing that, you want to bring your knee up to your chest. And so, how do I get my knee up to my chest automatically? Well, what muscle are you using? Usually people don't explain that, and that's extremely important. So think about it. How do you get your knees up to your chest? Is it some miracle that your leg muscles are doing it? No, it's actually that your stomach muscles are bringing them up to your chest, and so it's your lower stomach muscles you're thinking about when you're doing this motion. Alright, so you're here, motion 1, motion 2, motion 3, stomach, up to here, motion 4, lower stomach muscles, there. You can see that was all pretty much stomach. It's kind of hard, yes, I guess, to see it, but if you're doing it at the same time as me, try doing that with mostly stomach muscles. You see, it's bringing your legs underneath you. You see how my hands are still here on the board? It's really important. I'm trying to place the board under my feet. I'm not trying to push it under my feet. What ends up happening is, if I'm pushing the board away from myself, I'm going to be ending up having it not be where I want it to be. I'm going to probably push it too far away from myself. I'm going to lose balance. It's a huge part that happens is that if you're thinking of pushing it away from yourself, you're ending up not trying to be on the board. You're kind of trying to land on the board. And what you really want to be doing is placing it under your feet. And that happens by keeping your hands kind of there and on it. And you can see that you can crouch underneath your arms and have your legs underneath you, even with your hands on your board. And that's where you want to be when standing up, is to have your hands like this, get your feet underneath you, and then what you're told is to stand up. If you do this, I don't care who it is, a little kid can just tap you on the side and you'll fall off. Why is this? Think about it. That's what I did, and what you start to realize is that when you're standing up and someone pushes on you, you're going to fall over very easily. If you're crouched down low and someone pushes on you, it's going to be a lot harder. If you're crouching here, right, and someone pushes on you, you can lean into it and you can stay on your board. So the difference is your center of your weight is going to be lower down. And you're thinking about if you're just a ball. If all your weight is just a little ball, it's usually around your stomach where it is. They call it the center of gravity. And what I want you to think about is if you're standing up and someone pushes you, it's very easy for your center, that ball, to get over and not have your legs underneath it. Now, if you're lower down and someone pushes you, it's pushing your whole body because your ball is lower down and you're actually able to push back. So, pretty much one of the worst things you can do is stand up. And I know that's what I've been telling you I'm going to teach you, and it really is. The most important thing to surfing is learning how to get up and be on your board and have your feet on it. But if you're doing it right, you're not standing up. You're crouching on your board, keeping your knees bent, and that will keep you on the wave and not falling over every time. And you'll see it. you can start pointing and just watch some other surfers. And generally, a lot of times, if you're watching a lot of beginners, you'll see it. They'll stand up like this for a millisecond, and then they'll fall off. So if you want to actually be on the wave and you want to be standing, you want to be here. This is standing on your board. This is doing it correctly. You can see I can still have my hands here. That helps with my balance. Your hands can go out, help with your balance even more. But you can just see that once I'm up, I'm already there. I'm not here. I'm right down here. Knees trapped, bending. You see how far they're bending? That's perfect position. So that is standing up in a nutshell. I would like to make this an even better video, because really what's important for me is making it an easy and enjoyable thing, how to surf. I really feel like it can be incredibly simple and easy, and it really just takes a bit of thought and some effort. And if you try doing this, 5 or 10 times a day, just that motion, and to think about it in steps, make it simple for yourself, I bet you'll kind of be incredibly surprised that you'll be able to stand up on your board and be surfing in a few, and really actually then learning all the parts that make surfing so much fun. And so yeah, please leave a lot of comments. Let me know if you liked it. That way I can, on my next video that I'm going to try to do to make it an even more understandable and easy kind of step-by-step instruction. I really do need also criticism if you don't like something, if you think I'm doing something that won't be as helpful to people. My goal is to make this a great way for people to understand how easy it can be to stand up. So thank you very much, and yeah, enjoy.